Well, I think it's simple that for most students out there, the cost of going to college is kind of ridiculous. It's hard to bear. Well, textbooks alone can be crippling for most people. A lot of students, such as myself, I'm a Pell Grant student. I know exactly what it is to feel the cost of attending college. It's very important for me that we do oppose tuition hikes when we don't know what they're for. As long as the university continues to raise our tuition and doesn't tell us why, and they won't give us good reason or representation, I will continue to oppose them. I will oppose them as long as they do not allow student input or student voice. And it's not just me that's opposing them, it's the state legislature. The senator from the Finance Committee came up here this year and was very angry with them. The minority leader and the Speaker of the House were upset. It's not just me, and those are pretty powerful allies if you haven't noticed. And when those people and I are on the same page and on the same wavelength, it becomes less of a daunting task and a much more feasible one.
Thank you. Brad, English 106 is one of the most commonly taken courses at Purdue. What are the steps you'll take to standardize them, and how will you work with any faculty opposition?
Yeah, I hope to kind of address two things. Just with that, I just wanted to make it known that at the Board of Trustees meeting last summer, when raising fees and protecting the student interest, and when it came down to speaking out against that, I would encourage you to go back and kind of check the docket. I spoke against student fees, so before even elected president, I was advocating your best interest. I understand that college costs are expensive too, and that's why I was proactive this summer. Made sure that the Board of Trustees heard my opinion, and just wanted to enlighten you guys on that. As far as English 106 goes, English 106 currently has 8 different curriculum that you can choose from. It's up to a lot of teacher discretion. PSG has kind of spearheaded a movement to I guess, increase the transparency of what exactly you're signing up for, because there is quite a large discrepancy between the 8 different curriculum. I have talked to Richard Tavir. He's a PhD student in the English department. He is an instructor for English 106 or English 108, and he's explained that it's very tough to allow students the opportunity to understand exactly what they're signing up for, because instructors, the instructors for those classes are generally PhD students who come to campus just before classes begin and don't have an opportunity to select from those 8 and make it published on MyPurdue in nearly enough time. We're signing up for classes now, and they don't know the PhD professors for next fall. So it's very tough to figure out exactly what you're signing up for. So I think that English 106 needs to just come down to a consolidation process like we did with Com 114, where we say, hey, we need to have these certain requirements, these certain assignments, and you can still choose the book, you can still choose the topics of the speeches instructors, but we would like to see some more consolidation and just a better standardization so that you know exactly what you're signing up for.
All right, thank you. Now questions from the exponent. Do you guys have any?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
What kind of level do either of you plan on, what level of transparency or dialogue do you plan on having with the student body as a whole?
Is it me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, I think that PSG transparency is a very positive thing. I didn't realize that Will had helped co-write the legislation because he wasn't listed as an author on it at the beginning of the year, but I strongly supported Eddie Van Bogart's piece that he introduced to Senate. I think that it's important for students to understand exactly where their piece of tuition is going as far as how student government is spending that money. I have been amazed over the past week as I've met with organizations and houses. They don't realize that there are 4 paid positions in student government. They don't realize that that's kind of where some of their tuition and fees is going. And so there have been kind of a lot of people that have been surprised, that have been upset, that's really kind of struck a chord with them. And so I think that while PSG has done a lot to kind of bring to the forefront what exactly we're doing through kind of posting it on our website, I think that student government needs to continue that responsibility and open dialogue. I would love to see a series of town hall style meetings, just to create that dialogue, to get the local members of the community, students, staff, faculty, all in one room, and really try to talk about the different perspectives as far as current university issues. We've seen a little bit of it with Aldia spearheading some town hall style meetings with the budget cuts and the transparency in that process. And I think that it's important for every decision that's at Purdue that's going to impact a broad range of students that we have an opportunity to share.
I'm just going to go ahead and jump back a couple steps. I feel like I might have been slightly misrepresented. I also was at the Board of Trustees meeting in which they raised tuition. Even though I wasn't personally invited, I still went there to make sure that our voices were heard. I still went there, even though I wasn't personally invited, and told the chairman of the Board of Trustees that I was against this, and I was against them raising tuition because there was no visibility. And as far as PSG transparency goes, it's very, very important to me. And even if Brad wasn't aware that I helped write the bill, I still did it, and we were still the people that pushed it through. Our ticket, my running mate's name was the name that was on that bill that offered the transparency reforms for Purdue student government. It's one of the things that we pushed through the entire year. I believe that it's something that my running mate has championed, and it's something that he was recognized for when he got the Senator of the Year award. It's something that's very core and very essential to our platform.
Lydia?
I have a question for you, Brad. One of your main points is to forego the stipends for the top four in your administration. Were you one of the people in this year's administration who got a stipend, and if so, did you forego that this year?
No, actually, within student government, the president, vice president, chief of staff, and treasurer are the 4 paid positions. Secretary is not a stipend position, so I didn't have an opportunity to accept or forgo it this year. It didn't kind of fall within my position. Okay, I just wanted to thank everyone. And I just want to point out, we're going into 3 days of voting. You've heard about the platforms. A lot of the platform issues are similar. We do have some characteristic differences. But I think that at the essence, that really what kind of differentiates the two campaigns is our slogan. I have kind of embraced the idea of Purdue Your Way. It's really my core objective. And it emphasizes you, the student. I think that it's interesting just to see the difference between who the slogan emphasizes. It's Purdue Your Way, or Better with Baldwin. And I happened to be on their website today preparing for the debate, reading over their platform one more time, and this image came on the top and it said, "See what you can do for us." And that really kind of struck a chord with me. That's a question you will never... that's a phrase that you will never hear come from our mouths. It's not going to be "see what you can do for us." It's going to be "see what we can do for you." And I hope that you give us the opportunity to show you over the next year.
All right, well, you have a minute.
I'm different. A lot of the people that are running this year, it kind of sounds like some of the tired old rhetoric that we hear in a lot of student government campaigns. Whether it's your voice or your way this year, or it was your voice last year, it's the same message, just with a different candidate. I'm promising something that's actually different. I'm promising real change and substantive ways that can actually impact you as a student. Student government can't promise and deliver on these buildings or laptop lounges because we don't have the budget. But what we can do is affect change and sensible academic reforms, because in those areas we actually have the ability to have a voice and have power and influence. And I will constantly be an advocate in that area. I will be an advocate for students, and I will pursue realistic reform the entire time I'm in office. And that's what's going to separate us, is that it's about feasibility. It's not about the same tired old rhetoric. Thank you.
All right, guys, now concludes tonight's debate. The vice presidential debate is tomorrow in EE 170, once again, and you can start voting at 12 a.m. tomorrow. Just go on and get involved. There'll be a big screen that says "Vote Here" after you log in. So, thank you.